All right. So now that I have my first viewer in, I can start this again. Hopefully it works. I've come to the conclusion Facebook Live sucks. Nobody could hear me, or my audio was cutting out. So you would think that two companies, I mean, they're owned by the same company, and somehow Facebook doesn't have it together. But whatever, I was able to video chat with Barrington, so it looks like his video's working. I hope. And we decided we would try Instagram again. So if this works out, hopefully the connection goes through. I'm gonna do the same introduction I've done like 5 times now. I'm KOM. This is the Hardcore Lair, and today, if everything works out, I will be interviewing the Caramel Colossus, Barrington Hughes, one of the best big men in the business. Which I see he joined. I hope everything works out, because I'd love to talk to him. All right, let's try this.
There we go.
There we go.
I like I was telling you in the chat, I figured out what the problem is, so I did that, and it was perfect. So that was my fault. Sorry about that.
No problem. Better late than never. I'm just glad I get to talk to you.
True, true. Same here, man.
Plus, I got to experience Facebook Live, which clearly I'm not a fan of now because nobody can hear me. So,
No, it's trash. It's trash.
so I'll stick to Instagram. Well, thank you, Barrington, for joining me. It's
No
been a long
problem.
time since I've seen you.
God, it's
Like,
been what, at least 3, 4 years?
yeah. I mean, I saw you when MLW came to Miami. I don't think I got to
Mm,
see you in person, but I got to see you as a fan. So that
got,
was cool.
gotcha. Okay. Yeah,
So,
that was almost 2 years ago.
yeah. I was saying, we've known each other for a long time because I don't remember if it was 2010 or 2011, but I feel like my first memory with you was an
Hmm.
ICW show at like the Davy Powell. I don't even think you were wrestling yet. I think you were there, and I met you,
Hmm.
and you were just one of the nicest guys, and you still are.
Oh,
So,
thank you.
so I think all of your success could not happen to someone more deserving.
Thank you. I appreciate it, Kayla. Honestly,
Oh,
yeah,
well, I
that
guess
was when we was around like May, June of 2010. Um, I wasn't even training yet. Honestly, I had just found out about the school in the area, and I was like, well, let me just show up, show face, see if I can kind of help out, whatever way I can, and it just started from there.
what inspired you to get into wrestling first as a fan and then to start training?
Well, both of those answers are the same. It's my grandfather. He introduced me to wrestling at a young age. We were fans together. And then before he passed away in 2010, we had a real deep heart to heart. And long story short, he's like, just live your life, do what you feel makes you happy, and don't look back on it. So that's basically what happened. And I started training that December, had my first match September of 2011, and been going ever since.
And you trained with Rusty, right?
Yep,
Because
old man Rusty.
I never trained, but a lot of my friends trained with Rusty, and I got to work with Rusty, as a ring announcer and doing commentary. And I know that literally everyone who has ever met Rusty has nothing but nice things to say about him. So what was it like training under him? Since I never had that experience.
It was hard, man. It was honestly, um, it was at his home. He had a ring in the backyard. Um, so you bared the elements. You no matter what time of the day it was. If you went, trainings used to be when I first got there. It was Sunday and Friday. No, it was Sunday and Wednesday, and then they would have Friday nights for like people to come in and work on stuff. If there was a local show the next night. So, if you went on a Sunday, it was 10 o'clock in the morning. By the time we were done at 2, you were baking under that sun. And at night on Wednesdays, you were in the dead of night. You had the floodlights on the ring, and you were out there doing your drills and rolling and bumping and doing whatever the hell you had to do to get better.
So many people came out of the School of Hard Knocks with Rusty Brooks, who were great, yourself included. So
Thank you.
just shout out to Rusty, incredible
Big time.
guy, incredible trainer. You mentioned your first match. Who did
Hmm.
you face in that first match?
My first match was against my other trainer, Flex Magnum. Um, Super short match, super basic. I was nervous as all hell. But it went on fine in hindsight. I've actually gone back and watched the match, and I cringe every time I do. But it just shows me how far I've come from then and now.
And Flex is an incredible character too. He's fun. I imagine facing him is fun.
Super easy guy to work with, man. Light as a feather, and just he plays off of you. Like whatever you want to do, he can do that, and he does it well. He doesn't get enough credit down here as being a good trainer. He doesn't. Like I love Rusty. Rusty is an excellent trainer, but he was directly under him and helped him a lot.
Shout out to Flex. The guy's great.
Big time.
So again, I first got to work with you in ICW. I know a
Mm-hmm.
big part of your start. You worked with Rayner for a bit,
Mm-hmm.
but I mostly know when you teamed with Murdoch,
Yes.
the two of you guys together. Like, I don't understand how any team could even compete against the two of you. You two are both dominant in the ring and
Mm-hmm.
intimidating forces. How was it working with VJ Murdoch?
I love the big lug. It's always been fun. He was always, he had his knowledge. He had his faults. No one's perfect. You know what I mean? And we're still good friends to this day. Like we're almost best friends. And it's like he's been there my whole career, and I've been there a good portion of his. We played off of each other very well. We always kind of, with ideas for our team, whether it's gear or moves or music, we always came together and kind of always brainstormed that stuff. Whether I went to his house, he came to my house. We lived amongst one another, and it was just always the minds going and trying to do something different and be unique. And it's hard to do that in a business. It's hard. But when you can do that and really get people to pay attention to you, it means that's when you have something special.
And two other guys that I associate with you from like
Mm-hmm.
ICW days and stuff. One of them, Vinny Ramaguchi. I know the two of you
Mm-hmm.
guys were close.
Still
And
are.
also, well, shout out to Vinny. Hopefully, I'll interview him one day too. The guy's always
Oh yeah.
busy. And then
Hey, when
another guy.
and when you do interview Vinny Ramaguchi, call him King Shane for me. He'll get it.
All right, I'll keep that in mind. And
Cool.
another guy is Dan Ragu, the bow tie
Mm-hmm.
man, bow tie guy.
What's
Um,
I got?
so how was it working with Ragu as a manager? Because I got to work with him in doing commentary for Pro, and the guy is just witty, and
Cool.
he never even hesitates. He just knows what to
He's on.
say, knows how to entertain. So how was it having someone like him as your manager?
It's great because honestly, it's something different. Everybody always has. One, I have a manager that is that shouldn't be managing, with all intents and purposes, based on his physical condition. He suffers from a condition called spina bifida. But he's never allowed that to stop him from doing anything. He's never allowed it to slow him down. Funny story when we mentioned that. When I first met Ragu, he was just a fan too, and we went out to go flyer at at the BB&T Center for a show, another neighboring local show, and I'll never forget this. So we're out in the parking lot, and we're putting flyers on the cars, and I'm like, hey, there's somebody over there. Can you go walk over there and give it to him? He's like, I got it. I turn, and all I hear is click, 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 click. I look back. He's running full speed like a velociraptor to that family and gave them a flyer. I think they got scared of how fast he approached them, but I didn't know he could move that fast. And from there on out, I'm like, oh, this kid is fucking awesome. Nothing's gonna stop him. And then when he decided he wanted to become a manager, I was like, okay, cool. I'll help you out as best as I can. And almost 5 years later, we're still rocking together.
I think Ragu is a true inspiration. I think so are
Definitely.
you. You you're one of the bigger guys in the business, and I know that when a lot of people look at bigger wrestlers, they see it as someone who's limited. I've never seen you like that. I think that you move very fast in the ring, and you can keep it going, and you've never let your size limit you. If anything, you know how to use that to your advantage.
Right.
But what is it like? You know, what's your how do you use your style? I guess since you're a different kind of guy, you face these smaller guys, you face bigger guys. how do you adapt to facing different people, or
I
using
always
your
try.
size?
I always try my best to bring the best out of my opponent, no matter who it is. If it's a smaller guy, you're going to use your speed against me and take advantage of that until I get tired of your speed and I start thinking and I start to outmaneuver you. Just because you're faster doesn't mean you can outstep me. I can cut off a ring and then we can go and tell a story from there. With another big guy, we're just going to fight. But we're going to be smart about it. There was a show I worked in Ohio with Beastman, Wes Fetty, and the story of our match, like our match didn't start until we hit the ring. We beat the hell out of each other. We worked our way out to the outside. He goes for this big spot in the corner, cannonball. I move out of the way. He eats shit in the corner. Go back in. He gets the advantage on me again. He goes for a top rope leg drop, misses. Boom, and that was the finish. As soon as he missed it, I hit my finish. Boom, 1, 2, 3. Everybody's like, "What?" But it made sense because it's like, why would I keep beating on him if I'm going to take advantage of him? It makes no fucking sense to keep on fighting. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I like that you understand the storytelling. You don't wrestle just to put on a match. You're telling a story when you're out there. You're trying to engage the audience in believing what's happening.
And
And
that's
not
where a lot of detractors come in. Because you have super talented guys like Ace Romero and Congo Kong that can do all this super athletic stuff for their size. And it's not a knock on them because I love them dearly. They're good friends and they're super talented. I bring something different. As opposed to me trying to keep up with them, I usually kind of stay in my own lane and become more of a storyteller. Like, well, how can we use what we have to our advantage? I'm not going to die. I'm not going to do anything that's going to put my body in serious risk at that juncture for a pop. I'm not going to do it when I can walk out and get that same reaction from a crowd. Once I do that, we already have them in our hands. There's not much else we can do outside of the surprising move every here and there, and really engage them. And they really want to see the physicality. They want to see either the David and Goliath story, or they want to see the War of the Worlds. Let's give them either one, depending on who I'm working
with. One thing I've always loved about you is
with.
that you're always giving back to other people. I've been in the locker room with you both when you were first starting and then again later on when you have been
Mm-hmm.
doing this for years. And you've never hesitated to offer help to people who ask. You always go out of your way to, make sure, because it's not all about you putting on the best performance. It's about the show in general being a good show.
The possible.
So,
Yep.
so I've seen you as a mentor like that. Who
Mm-hmm.
served who served in that role for you when you were starting?
When I was starting, honestly, guys like Rayner, he didn't have a ton of experience above me, but he had experience and he kind of knew his way around, and he helped me out a lot. And yeah, we didn't stay a team for long, but we're still friends to this day. And he'll still, watch a match and be like, "Hey, I like what you did here." And then instead of him saying he didn't like something I did, he would ask me why I did it. And then, and that's the approach that I take with a lot of people that I mentor or they come to me for advice or ask me questions. I never say that I don't like anything, or if I do, I'll say, well, I didn't really like that you did this here. Why did you do it here instead of doing it here instead? Kind of, altering the story ever so slightly. And if somebody can give me a good explanation, it's like, all right, I can see your perspective. I never knock anyone's reasoning for doing what they do because I can learn something from somebody that I'm teaching something to because it's all knowledge being exchanged. I have the blessing of having two really good mentors right now in MVP, current producer for WWE, and Low Key, former MLW World Heavyweight Champion, World Travel Wrestler, and occasional meme share. So I have two really good, smart individuals that didn't have to take the time and help me learn, but they choose to and they want to. They want to see the best out of me and they want to see the best out of anyone they help. So that helps a lot.
Both those guys are incredible, and I think having them as mentors, that's amazing.
Oh yeah, it
Um,
helps.
Now I want to talk about, because when I first saw that you made it to MLW, I thought,
Mm-hmm.
this is crazy. This guy I used to work with is now on national TV. People are watching him. So I took great pride in telling people I used to work with that guy. That guy you're watching on TV, And then I'm also like, look at how intimidating he is. He's like the nicest guy outside of there.
Yeah.
But so I kind of want to talk about your time in MLW because you got to do a lot in there. I was actually yesterday. I was watching your War Games match,
Hmm.
and the fact you were in there with so many big names: Tommy Dreamer, Sammy Callahan, John Hennigan, Abyss. What
Hmm.
was it like working with all those people and just being involved in that match?
And I mean this in the nicest way possible. It was hell and it was school at the same time. It was hell because I'm like I was terrified, being one of the lesser experienced guys in this match. I've maybe had one other, cage style match before this, and that wasn't anything to be proud of. But I was just really nervous going into it and talking to everybody and really getting an understanding of what we wanted to do and the kind of things we wanted to accomplish. It made it a lot easier. Being around guys like Sammy, who has a great mind for the business, Tommy, who's been doing this for 300 years and can do anything in this business and really do it well. Hennigan, who's super, super athletic and super intelligent. Being around all these guys, it was something really special, and I was really blessed to be a part of that. Me and Snoop, and we both benefited from it greatly since then.
And in that match, and so at the end, first of all, you're the one who got the win, which is great.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but
Yep.
also, right before that very last moment, they wrapped you in barbed wire before you slammed on full send. What was that like being wrapped in barbed wire?
It hurt, but it was something different. We wanted to create moments in that match. If you go back, you'll see there's specific moments that stand out in that match when when Snoop goes to do the springboard and he gets hit with the stop sign. Jimmy Havoc goes against me, comes flying out of the corner and catches the clothesline. Um, the dive off of the top of the cage, the splash, you know, the the chain octopus stretch. Those were moments in that match that were like different. Because we weren't gonna do another company style war games match, but we were gonna put our own spin on it and tell our own story and still be a brutal physical match, which I think we went out and accomplished.
And with you mentioning brutal physical matches, I know this wasn't an MLW match, but I saw you had posted
Mm.
it on your page. It was in Orlando. I forgot who you were facing, but it was at like the sound stage or something where you had it was a shopping cart like full of light tubes, full of all these weapons. There was no
Oh,
ring. It was just
I
a
know.
brutal
Okay,
match.
the
What was
death
that
match
like?
that was insane. Um, that actually I started as a joke on Twitter, and I was just joking with Casanova Valentine, and we were talking, and I was just BSing around, and I was like, yeah, I'll do a match, I'll do a death match. I've never done one before. He's like, seriously, you've never done it? I was like, no. He's like, you want to? I was like, why not? He's like, all right, I'll be right back. So he messaged me like a few days later. He's like, talk to this person, talk to this person. So I reach out to them, and they reach out to me, in return. So we're talking. They finally figure it out. They're like, well, let's do this, and you'll have the match. And then it kind of clicked to me that I'm really going to do a death match. And I
And
got there that night, you know, we geared up, we did it, we told our story, we had a hell of a match, we beat the hell out of each other, and it changed my perspective on deathmatch wrestling forever.
I can't imagine what it was like waking up that next morning after taking all of that and how much hell you must have been in.
I could barely move the next day, but it was worth it, man. It was really worth it to create those moments and be able to do that. And then I really made some good friends. I made some new friends that night, and G Raver and a lot of guys that were competing that night. Shout out to G Raver. I hope you get well soon, buddy. Um, you know what I mean? And good, genuine guys that just or something that should be devalued because it's not, traditional style wrestling. I learned a lot that night, and it really opened my eyes to say it's still wrestling. It's just a different aspect of it. It's like people that like superhero movies as opposed to horror movies. They're still entertainment, There's still a lot of work being done behind the scenes. So, it's it's an appreciation for that type of style.
To me, wrestling's wrestling, and no matter what, it's enjoyable.
Exactly.
I probably wouldn't be in a death match. So that's just because I'm a coward. But uh, back to MLW. Again, you got to wrestle in front of a national audience. You were on TV. You got to travel a lot.
Mm-hmm.
How was that compared to, you started locally and now you're traveling to these big cities. You're wrestling in front of these crowds. You're on TV like every week. What was that like?
It was awesome, man. It was an amazing experience. Just being able to, go back to New York after 20 years of not being there, saying that I can compete, in my not home state, but a lot of my family lives there. So to be a part of that was really cool. I've been to places in this country I never thought I'd see or, go visit because of wrestling. And through being a part of MLW and putting in the work that I put in and promoters having trusted me to do, to bring something special to their shows that I couldn't ask much more for.
And in MLW, you were undefeated for like 2 years before the eventual future MLW champion ended that. So, first off, were you happy that your undefeated streak was ended by Jacob Fatu? And just how did that all come about, and what was it like?
Nobody's ever going to be happy to lose, but who I lost to was well worth it. And the story that was told with that made sense. So to be a part of that, to see his attention to be at the top of the mountain was well worth it.
Was there any other big match or feud storyline from MLW that stands out to you from your time there?
Match, Battle Riot. Both of them were really fun. One more so than two because I got actually 8 eliminations in the first match. And that was just a really different type of experience to work with producers and put that whole thing together. That was definitely a special experience as well.
Well, again, I was super glad to be able to watch you on TV and see that, again, this guy who was so great, who goes out of his way to help other people, was getting your time to shine. I know you've worked in a tag team in Tragic City. Unfortunately, I haven't seen a lot of your stuff. I'm hoping to see it in person one day. But how different is it working in a tag team than working as a singles competitor?
I'd say it's a little bit easier in a tag team because you have 4 minds, so you have more ideas, more creativity, but there's also more room for error. But each of them bring their own unique qualities.
All right. And then I know I don't want to get into a sad topic, but I know recently you had posted that you suffered a health scare. So first of all, I'm glad to say that I'm happy to see you doing well because this business, this world needs somebody as nice as you, as pure-hearted as you. And, but if you're okay with talking about it.
Yeah, go for it.
What was that like? What happened? I just saw the pictures and I was like, I'm glad you pulled through. Yeah. But you want to talk about that for people who might not know.
So to give everybody a quick note version, I had lung failure, I had an irregular heartbeat, and I had a blood infection at the beginning of the year. I was admitted into the hospital. They put me on a feeding tube. I was in a coma for 11 days, and I got out of the hospital after rehab in March. Because basically, with everything that happened, I had to relearn how to walk.
Are you okay walking now? Getting better?
Oh yeah, for sure. I'm a whole lot better. Still gotta follow up with my doctors and make sure I get cleared. So. And I'm still on the mend right now. Like, I probably won't be back for a while, but when I'll be back, you'll know.
And I know with this pandemic, I guess it allows you some time to heal too. It's not like you're missing out on too many shows. You're,
Exactly.
so I guess if there's any good thing that comes out of that, it's giving you time to heal, not miss
Mm.
out. But when you are feeling better, when you're 100%, and when all this is over, what is the next chapter in the story of Barrington Hughes?
The next chapter in the story of Barrington Hughes is the chapter of Black Faith. And no, I'm not getting into detail yet.
That's good enough for me. Sounds dominant. Sounds like, you know, I'm just glad that you're looking forward to getting back into this. I didn't want to hear that you were done, so I'm glad that there is a next chapter for Barrington Hughes.
Most definitely. Most definitely.
And wherever that chapter takes place, I'm excited to watch it. I hope that one day I get to work with you again. I know I've been out for a while, um,
Mm-hmm.
but I hope that one day our paths will cross
Shut
again.
up, screenshot. So I was going through some of the comments, and
No problem.
one of my big head nephews is talking now.
Well, he's lucky to have you in his life. So, and Barrington, honestly, thank you for agreeing to this.
No
Um,
problem, man. Anytime.
like I said, it's crazy that someone, I know I've known you forever, but that
Mm-hmm.
somebody who's done as much as you would talk to me is just, it's amazing.
Dude, you were one of the first people that I met in the business that treated me like a person and didn't just kind of dismiss me or make me feel less than. So when you asked me to be a part of this, it was a no-brainer to say, of course.
Well, thank you. I'm glad. I try to give everyone, I want everyone to feel welcome because whether you're starting the business or when I started, I felt like a lot of people were nice to me because I'm just
Mm-hmm.
random kids showing up. A lot of them had never seen me, and I'm ring announcing all
Right.
of a sudden. A lot of them were nice to me. Some of them were kind of not as
Mm-hmm.
they just whatever you do you. So I knew what it was like to be on both those sides, and
Mm-hmm.
I don't want people to come in and then hate this business because someone treated them like crap or didn't give them a chance or had this preconceived notion of what they're going to be. And it's like, no. To me, everyone deserves the chance to prove what they're going to be. If later
Mm-hmm.
on you turn out to be a douche, I mean, that's on you. I gave you the chance. But
Exactly.
you were always a nice guy from the first day. So, again, it's been my honor being able to work with you,
Mm-hmm.
to be able to watch you become who you've become, and to interview you now. So,
Thank you, man. Like I said, you kind of went back and just to kind of touch on it briefly, you and I both came into the business at a time where bullying was super prevalent. If you weren't with the right guys or in a part of the right clique, you were pretty much ostracized or put on the back burner or made to feel like you didn't deserve to be a part of the industry when you put in your blood, sweat, and tears and your sweat equity. And guys wanted to make, guys that were younger or lesser than feel like that. I went through that for my first 2 years in this. And as things got better, as things evolved, the best thing that ever happened to me was leaving South Florida, honestly, because there was a time where I wasn't getting booked down here and nobody wanted to really mess with me. So I started traveling, started going to Central Florida, started going to the West Coast of Florida and really venturing out to Georgia, places like that. And I really started building my name up from there. So then when I did start coming back, that's when everybody was like, okay, now we want to use it. So one thing that my good friend Sugar Dunkerton always says always, always, always make people that make you feel bad pay a petty tax. So trust me, there's been some taxes paid.
well, Barrington, thank you again. This was
No problem.
incredible. Thank you for taking the time. I'm glad you're doing well. I hope to see you again wrestling soon.
Oh yeah.
And I'm gonna make sure I record this and put it on YouTube so that people can watch it whenever they want, hear from one of the best. And thank you again for joining me. And
Anytime, man.
good luck on your recovery and on dealing with quarantine, being stuck at home.
No problem. Everybody, please stay at home. If it's not for yourself, do it for somebody you love, because you never know what can happen. So stay your ass home, please.
Wise words from Black Thanos. All
All
right.
right,
Well,
man. I'll talk to you later. All right.
thank you, Barrington.
No
And
problem, man. Be blessed.
thank you to everyone that watched. This is the Hardcore Lair. I'm KOM. Whenever the next one is, I'll announce it. And thank you for sticking through the technical difficulties that before we figured this out. So thank you. Enjoy this, and I'll see you guys soon.